My name's Nik Peachey. At the moment, I'm head of a company called English Up, and we're an online school serving Colombia and Brazil at the moment. We specialise in teaching students online with no face-to-face whatsoever, and we employ teachers to teach live classes for us. So I'll just adjust my sound a little bit, see if that gets better. I think the volume's too high. Is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, good. Yeah. Okay. As well as being the head of learning at this online school, which I'm going to talk about today a bit, I'm also author of a book. I'll just pass you the link to the book. That's digital video. That's going to be one of the free gifts, and I also publish my own materials online, and I'll be sharing a set of lesson plans from my shop on the TES resources shop. Okay, so those will be some of the free prizes if you want to check those out. A set of 10 lesson plans and a free copy of my book. I'll just take some water because I'm drying up already and I've used up my first minute. So I'll be answering questions about, or the question of what you need to do if you want to teach online and what you should be finding out about. Okay, so the first thing in terms of what's expected from you, I think, and what's quite important, is that if you want to be an online teacher, these are some of the things you've got to have to start off with. You need really good broadband connectivity. Of course, the more the better. You need an up-to-date computer that's sort of able to handle sound and multimedia quite well. You need a USB headset if possible. I think USB, the quality of USB is very important if you're just using particularly the microphone off your onboard computer or just a simple plug-in mic. The quality of the sound's not likely to be good. You'll need a webcam, and you'll need a quiet, appropriate space to do it, which is sort of reasonably well lit, which I hope I'm sort of demonstrating at the moment. And so those are the things that are likely to be expected from you. In terms of qualities and qualifications, if you want to teach online, yeah, teaching qualifications are important, and I know we look for those at the school I'm in. You don't have to be a native speaker to teach online, but you have to have a good language level, so that's the kind of thing we always look for at the school I work for. We employ mostly bilingual teachers at our school because we have a lot of low-level students who need support and in their native language, so you know that we find that really helps to build their sense of security on the platform. But what you need most of all is the ability to engage on the camera, you know. And that's very important, you know, to be able to build a relationship with your students through the camera and through a webcam and microphone like this is very different from being able to build a relationship with them in the classroom. And that's something we particularly look for. We have an interview task for all our students, for all our potential teachers before they get anywhere near us, and they have to do a kind of video task and prove to us that they're able to engage with people on the camera. So you might be expected to do something like that if you apply for a job teaching online. In terms of things that you need to know, it's good to find out whether materials are provided or whether you need to sort of start producing online lesson plans and developing online materials. And if they are provided, is there any flexibility in those? Are you forced to use exactly what the school provides, or can you have fun with the materials and adapt them for your students? And are you what kind of preparation is expected before you go into the classroom? So all these are things that you really should, you know, ask about and check before you accept a job. The other thing you want to think about is sort of admin. And in terms of admin, if you're teaching online, you might have to do reports, attend meetings, fill in timesheets, and send off invoices. So, you know, it's worth thinking about how long all these kinds of things take. You know, I know that our own school, you know, we don't expect much in the way of meetings, but, you know, teachers invited to them, and we do expect people to keep up with what's going on in the school and what's changing and things like that. So there could be some expectations in that regard. So be sure to check whether you need to teach groups or what kind of or whether you need to teach one-to-one. Teaching one-to-one is a lot more effective, and our teachers at our school always prefer to teach one-to-one. And it's worth checking that out. One-to-one is a much more enjoyable experience. In terms of development, it's worth asking what kind of development you have. We provide pre-training for all of our teachers, but not every school does, as is done through a sort of Moodle online course, but sometimes you're expected to read a manual or print something like that. What kind of ongoing development, is there continuous development? Are there things like online course modules? Are you observed as a teacher? Is there any kind of mentoring or when you first get started, or any kind of sort of community of teachers that you join, or live training? These are all the kinds of things that we try to provide in ways of support for our own teachers. So it's worth finding out, what kind of teacher support is being offered if you're going to start teaching at an online school, because it can be a very solitary experience. Okay, in terms of money, this is probably what everybody wants to know. Money-wise, it's likely to be relative to the student's location. If you're living in a developed country where you have a high standard of living, and you're teaching students that are in a developing country, then it's not likely to sort of work out being very well paid. If it's the other way around and you're living in a developing country, you're teaching students who are in a developed country with a strong economy, then there's likely to be a lot more in it for you. It's worth, one of the problems with online classes at the moment is it's still seen as a substitute for the classroom, and people expect it to be that much cheaper. So until it sort of breaks through as a more effective kind of means of learning, which it is, I believe, we've still got an uphill battle in terms of getting the money to teachers. One of the good things is that you might get paid in hard currency, which could be a very big advantage for some people in some countries. But check to see if there are bank charges, or what kinds of charges happen when you have to get the money from the bank to you, and what kinds of benefits or contract you have. Always a good idea to ask about these things. People say you don't get into teaching for the money, but it still helps to have some, because none of us eat for free. Some of the great advantages of it, though, are flexibility. I mean, I think, to be able to sit at home and do your teaching and not have to go out is great. You can choose the times you want to teach and all those kinds of things. You have some degree of independence. If you don't want to work, you don't have to work. You can choose when you work. You don't have all those traffic jams and things like that, travel expenses which can mount up, and you get a wide range of students, from all over the world. And it's So just running out of time rapidly, I'll stick up the last slide. In terms of places to look for work, always good to look on TEFL.com, promote yourself on LinkedIn and have a good LinkedIn profile. ESL Jobs Forum is a good one, ESL Cafe, and we also have a site on English Up, a page on English Up where we recruit, although we're not recruiting at the moment. We've got loads of very good teachers who aren't leaving us, so we don't need to. The other option is, if you're thinking of this, is maybe going it alone, and there are sites where you can sort of set yourself up as an independent teacher and advertise yourself at whatever rate you want. But it's worth bearing in mind, selling yourself as an online teacher is still a difficult task. It's quite challenging to get people the confidence to sort of buy an online course and pay into an online teacher. So it might still be better to get started working with a regular school. So that's me done in under 10 minutes. Thanks for coming along. Apologies for the crash in the middle there. Don't really know what happened, but I've always had problems with WizIQ, but thanks very much for coming along. Enjoy the rest of your day.